Hi everybody, Ali Akbarian, your resident road safety expert from Mobility Engineering, back again for another Q&A video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you very much for sending in your questions. We love getting those questions and finding out the answers and making sure someone is a little bit safer as a result of our information. So please send in more questions. We're happy to answer them. We'll find out the information if we don't know them, and we'll deliver it to you on this channel. And as always, please hit the subscribe button that looks a little bit like this lovely cushy pillow, probably somewhere down there somewhere. Hit that button. We'd love your support, and we'd love to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we'd love your support around that. So we're slowly but surely getting there, but we need your support for that. So please get on board, hit that subscribe button, and you'll see where more and more information comes out from us as we're delivering more and more of that as the time goes on. So let's get into today's question. So today's question comes from Victoria, from Hi for Baby in Victoria. As we've had a few questions from them before, you may or may not know they are our partner trainers and child restraint deliverers down in Victoria. They're a great family company, and for all your rental and baby seat training needs, please contact Hi for Baby. I'll put a link to their website down below. Thank you, Mariana, for sending in your question. So the question she's asked today is, we have a client that's come to us and has presented their child restraint, and what has happened with their child restraint is they're for a fitting, and the child restraint has had the Australian Standards label removed by or scratched off by the child, right? So I'll show you what we're talking about here. Hopefully you can see it on the video. This is the child restraint label. So every single child restraint, as per law in Australia, must have a label that looks like this and has that specific code ASNZS 1754. So that is very important to understand. So what's happened here is the customer has come to have their baby seat fitted, and that sticker is not there. So the fitter has said, well, I can't fit it because the law says that that must be on the restraint. So the fitter has said, no, I can't fit it, I'm sorry. And so the customer has turned around and said, but you know, I bought this seat, it's only a couple of months old, I spent a lot of money on it. This is not the exact seat, this is just a demo seat, by the way. And thank you to our good friends at Britax for providing us with some great demo seats. But basically, what she's found is that the seat's only a couple of months old, and the kid, you know, was unsupervised or whatever, as kids are, and it's no problem, but basically they've gone and scratched that label off. And what they've done is they've contacted the manufacturer of the product, and they've asked them, oh, hey, this sticker has come off, I need to buy it as a spare part, and they've said, no, we can't offer that as a spare part. So what they've asked is, what do we do in this case? So then they've asked for a couple of elements. One, consumer law, is there any consumer sort of backing around that? In that respect, we would probably refer you to the ACCC. They've sort of said, doesn't the manufacturer have to keep spare parts? We work in the automotive industry, and with the automotive industry, you definitely do. But the child restraint industry is a funny one because the baby seats, whilst they're used in automotive, they actually are kind of classified as baby goods. So they fall into a different sort of set of standards. So I would recommend that you contact the ACCC to see if you have any backing around the warranty side of things. However, what I can explain to you is what you can and can't do and what we train on, because we provide a lot of child restraint training for a lot of child restraint fitters, and this is the spiel that we give them about the Australian Standards label. So what we tell them is, if someone presents to you with a seat that the Australian Standards label has been peeled off or torn off or is missing, do not fit that seat. It is illegal for you to fit that seat. It's illegal for that seat to be used. So do not fit that seat, and it must not be used. What does the consumer do? Unfortunately, the consumer can do nothing other than dispose of their seat and go and buy a new one. So this system of that sticker, every single sticker has got an individual serial code on it, and that system is a highly regulated and highly stringent system. And there is no spare parts, there is none of that stuff, replacement parts. Once it's gone, it's gone. And that's the advice that we give people when we're training them. And often people sort of complain and go, oh, but you know, what if a kid peels it off, or what if it comes off, or what if it washes off, or something like that. So to give you that confidence around that, the Australian Standard actually has a pull test. So what they have is a machine that tries to peel that sticker off. And the sticker is not that easy to peel off. So if someone has peeled it off, they've been working very, very hard to peel it off, and they're very strong as well, because it's actually quite a tough sticker that's stuck on there, and so yeah, it basically doesn't really come off. Like, I've been working in this industry with child restraints for over 20 years, And I haven't heard of these stickers coming off that often at all, you know, so it maybe comes up maybe once every year or two, you know, so the point is it's not something that's easily done. It doesn't come off that easily. And so I think that's why there is very stringent controls around that. And the other thing is also, on a side note, the thing that does get them to peel off is chemicals. So people put chemical cleaners, cleaning agents and so on. If you put that on there, then it will peel off. But if you read the instructions of your child restraint, you will see all of them say, do not put any chemical cleaning agents onto the plastic of the restraint. The other thing that they've said is the child has not only peeled off that standard sticker, they've also peeled off all the instruction labels. So they said, what happens if we've got all the instruction labels peeled off? So what, again, you'll see here on this child restraint, you'll see I've got instruction labels there as well. You know, we've got one there, we've got one there, warning labels all over it, telling you how to use it. So the Australian standard specifically requires these instruction labels. So if I remove that instruction label, that means my seat no longer meets the Australian standard because that was the requirement of the Australian standard. So what that means is once the sticker of the instructions is peeled off, the seat can't be fitted either. So even if you have that Australian standard sticker, but you don't have instructions on it, you're still not allowed to fit it. You're not allowed to use it, it's actually illegal, you can face fines and all of that kind of thing. So it sounds a bit sort of, sometimes when we explain it to people, it sounds a bit like, this is really crazy and oh my God, and why is it so controlled? Well, the reason why it is so controlled is because it's child safety. So whenever a child gets hurt or gets killed, we get involved in that a little bit. It becomes national news. It's a very emotional topic. So we can't afford losing children. You know, they are our future. So that's why it's such a strict standard, it's such a strict requirement. So basically, if stickers are peeled off or if the Australian standard is peeled off, there's nothing we can do. We have to dispose of the restraint and buy a new one. In some cases, you may be able to get something from your insurance companies. You'd have to contact them directly, but that would be between you and them. In most cases, it's just a waste of money, basically. You've got to throw it in the bin and unfortunately get a new one. So hopefully that, it may not be the answer you're looking for, but hopefully it helps with your inquiry. As I've always said, please keep sending in the questions and please hit that subscribe button down there. We'd love to get you on board and we'd love that support for 1,000 subscribers. Thanks very much. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.